So today in module 3, the last portion of this module.
Okay, students, I think Sarah has lost the connection. So let us proceed with this module 3. So module 3, it deals with understanding harmony in the family and the society. So we are quite familiar with these terms, and let us see how these terms can be integrated into our daily lives to make our lives much better.
Yes, you start.
Okay, sir. Sir, with your permission, I have started.
Okay. I was out of connection. That's right. Anyway,
Yes, sir.
start.
Yes, sir. So let us start the class. We have certain terms here, like as I told you, we are quite familiar with these terms. We use it in our daily lives. So let us understand these terms a little bit clearly. Like the word trust. So what do we understand by this word trust? And what is its importance in the human relationship? So trust, we also called it in another word, that is vishwas. It is the foundational value of any type of relationship. So any type of relationship means the relationships like between brothers, sisters, between parents, between your friends. So trust is very much necessary. So to be assured that each human being inherently wants oneself and others to be happy. And this happiness is prosperous. And that leads us to the word trust. So simply we can say that having faith in others as well as to believe them. So that encourages trust or imbibes this word trust in the relationship. So we can also say that trust is the expectation of the people and their beliefs in you. And this trust can be built only through integrity and consistency in the relationships. So whatever relationships we are having in our family or in our daily to daily lives, we need to have the trust or vishwas in others. So to keep the trust on ourselves as well as on others, we have to pay attention on the intentions. So rather, we have to understand the relationships, we have to know each other so that the other person is benefited. And this can only be achieved, or we can trust them when we are lacking this word, that is competence. So trust is the result of understanding of the intention of all human beings around us. So once we understand the intentions or we believe them, we can actually grow this trust. So trust helps us to improve our competence, not only in ourselves, but also among others. Next, we come to another term that we are quite familiar with, that is the feeling of respect. So what does this respect word means? Respect means individuality. That means to be assured that each human being inherently wants oneself and others to be happy and prosperous. Then only we get to know that not only we are trusting that person, but mutual respect also grows in that relationship. The sense of individuality is the prime object, and this is the first step towards gaining respect or samman. So once we realize that we are individual, then only we can see ourselves different from others. So first is we have to grow respect or respect oneself. Then only we can spread the message of respect, or we can imbibe, or we can respect others who are present in our relationships. So it can be within the family, it can be outside. So the feeling of respect grows not only within us, but in different types of relationships also. So in other words, respect means the right evaluation. So what is the right evaluation? That is, you have to evaluate yourself as well as the relation where, or each relation where you belong. So how these terms, they are affecting human relationship. Like trust or viswas, it is the foundational value of relationship. Even this mutual trust, that is a shared belief, and that we depend on each other to achieve a common purpose. So we can also tell that it is the expectation of the people that they can rely on our ways. So that is the seed of growing trust or viswas among each other. So this is built through integrity as well as consistency in the relationships. So there are two aspects of trust. One is the intention, that is wanting to accept what we are. Okay, so that is the natural acceptance. And second is the competence. That means what I am able to do. So both my intentions and competence are the two aspects of trust. So if my intention is good, then I am able to gather this second point, that is the competence. That means I will be able to achieve something good if my intention is also good. So these are the fundamental concepts of growing trust. So here we can explain it in this manner, like intention, particularly in this term, every human being wants to do what is right. But it might be that they are lacking in competence. And this competence in what they are lacking, they needs to be developed through proper understanding and practice. It might also happen that they have a good intention, but their determination is not that strong. So what we are doing today is when we judge ourselves. So we judge ourselves on the basis of our intention, whereas when we judge the person in front of us, we are judging him or her on the basis of their competence. So here we are trusting our own intention. When we trust our own intention, we try to compete, or we try to excel in that area. We are actually looking at the competence of others, and we make a conclusion on the basis of their intention. So this happens when we are talking about a person in front of us. So when we are judging that person on the basis of competence or on the basis of their intention, we are actually mistrusting them, or a sense of disbelief grows. Okay, so this mistrust is born and we somehow deny that relationship, or some negative impact develops in that relationship, because now we are not trusting them or trusting that relation, but rather we are mistrusting it, because we are not trying to, or trying to rather overlook the competence as well as their intention, which might be good. So we seldom look at our competence and others' intention. So it is very important to differentiate between my intention and competence. So my intention can be good, can be bad. If it is good intention, I might not be competent enough to follow that. Or in other case, my intention might be good and I am equally competent to follow that intention. So if we have trust in our intention, if we have strong determination, then we can follow that. So we have a feeling of being related to the other or the person in front of us, and we start helping the others to improve that relation, or we try to trust their competence if he doesn't have that enough also. So when we judge ourselves on the basis of our intention, or when we are judging the other, we are judging that person on the basis of the competence. We are sure that we want to make others happy, but we are not sure that the other wants to make us happy or not. So we are actually visualizing their competence and making a conclusion on the grounds of their intention. So we can write this line like, I wanted to do well, but I could not. So this is according to my belief. But for the other person in front of me, we say he didn't want to do well. So you can see how these two sentences, they just give you a negative meaning when we frame them into different ways. So wanting to is the intention. So I had that intention, but somehow I couldn't achieve it. And when I use this term, could not, that means there is lack of competence. So this is the basis how a trust may grow in a relationship, or there might be growth of mistrust. So how does affection lead to harmony in the family? So these are all the terms, like I told you: trust, respect, happiness, affection. These are all the terms that we actually feel in any type of relationship. So this affection, how it is affecting our relationships? Affection is the feeling of being related to each other. Affection comes when both the persons, they want to make each other happy and their intentions are much similar. So then for the first time, you can feel that you are related to that other person, or that other person might be a close relative of mine. So this feeling is called as affection. So the feeling of affection only comes when we usually trust and respect that person. So the affection will be generated only when you have trust as well as respect for that person in front of you. So without these two, trust and respect, affection cannot grow in that relationship. So without affection, how do we feel in that relationship? We feel very unhappy. We actually do not wish good for the others, and hence we can never feel affection for that particular person. We always see the other person as being in opposition. Okay, so the other person might be an enemy to me, or negative feelings will be generated when we both are lacking these terms, that is trust, that is affection, as well as respect. So we know all these terms are common to us, and these terms, they will be affecting any sort of relationship. Now let us see another term, that is care. So how can we define this term care? So the feeling of care is the feeling to nurture and protect the body. So how can we protect our body? When we have certain troubling our mind. So what is the troubling area? It can be some worry, it can be anxiety. So all these things, if we take care of, then we are happy. So taking care, that is a level of active concern, or we can also say it is a lack of negligence towards avoidance of possible dangers. So when we rather take care of these issues like worry, anxiety, then we are avoiding possible dangers. We are not neglecting ourselves, not neglecting the relationship as well. We are able to avoid all the mistakes, the pitfalls, and the risks that are present in the relationship. So care is very much needed to remove these terms called worry, anxiety, any type of dangers which might affect the relationship. So we understand the human being as a coexistence of the self as well as the body. And the body is rather an instrument of the self. So what does it mean? It means that we as a human being, first of all, should take care of ourselves. Then we can actually take care of any relationships that we are surrounded with. It might be within the family, it might be with our circle of friends. So based on this understanding, we take the responsibility of nurturing and protecting the body first. So once we are happy, we can take care of ourselves, we can take care of the relationships that is surrounding us. So nurturing and protection or caring your body is the foremost fundamental thing of any relationship. Next, we can feel another term, that is gratitude. So what is this gratitude? It is the feeling of acceptance for those who have made efforts to achieve excellence. So gratitude is an emotion that occurs after people receive help, depending on how they interpret the situation. So whether this help, is it a small or is it a massive help? So that depends on the person who is interpreting the situation. So specifically, gratitude is experienced if people perceive the help they receive as valuable to them. It might be a very small help, but if I don't realize that it was valuable or it provided benefit to a particular situation to me after receiving the help, I cannot feel gratitude towards that person or not. So this help, whether it is costly to that particular person, that is to the benefactor or not. And last of all, given by the help given by the benefactor with benevolent intentions. So this gratitude is generated when we actually give value to that help, however small it is. But we should realize that if we are grateful or shower gratitudeness to that person who has helped us in the hours of darkness or has helped us to overcome any negative situation, we must acknowledge them. So gratitude, we can say it's an emotion that occurs after people receive the help. So all these, again, if we see these terms like respect, trust, care, all these help you to realize this term or this particular gratitudeness. So this is also a factor which helps to make the relationship with your surroundings, with your family, with your friends much better. So we all should develop this feeling of acceptance. Whatever help in whatever amount we receive. There is another term that is reverence. So what is this term means? It is also the feeling of acceptance of excellence in others. We call it as reverence. We understand that we aspire for continuous happiness. And to realize it, we have to understand harmony at all levels of our living the life and live to it accordingly. When we see that the others has achieved this excellence, we must have a feeling of reverence for that particular person. We must encourage that person. We must give positive vibe to that person. So that will also help us to increase happiness, to grow respect and trust in that particular relationship. Okay, so when we see that others has achieved some excellence in their career, which means to understand and to live in harmony at all the levels of living a life and it also ensures continuity of happiness if we actually shower reverence to that person. So that also helps us to improve our relationships. Now we have another term here that we called as glory. So glory is also a part of these relationships, and it is a feeling for someone who has made excellent efforts or who has struggled a lot, and may he or she has achieved the pinnacle of success. So we find that there have been also examples from the history as well as surrounding us who are investing their time, energy, and their belongings to achieve excellence. So this gives us a feeling of glory for them. So this also helps to build our positive energy when we encourage that person, when we applaud that person who has struggled so much to achieve something. So we are also happy for their glorious past or their glorious future. So all this not only makes the relationship or the bonding strong, but also it ensures continuity of happiness in the relationship. It also encourages to bring, you can say, reverence, to build up trust, to build up respect. All these are very much entangled words within themselves. So all this will make somebody much happier. So how, this question is there, like how the value in relationship is fulfilled. Justice is the recognition of values in relationship as well as in their fulfillment, and the right evaluation of the fulfillment results in mutual happiness. Okay, so when in any particular relationship, when you are following these terms, like following terms like trust, respect, you are encouraging somebody, you are glorifying their victory, you are encouraging them. So all this helps to give a positive vibe to that relationship. All this strengthens the bond. So what you are doing is you are giving justice to those values or those feelings in that relationship. So what you are getting is a fulfillment in that relationship, or you are rightly evaluating that fulfillment or rightly evaluating that relationship, and that generates mutual happiness and makes the relation very strong. So once we have recognized the existence of human relationship, we are subsequently able to identify these feelings or these values also. So when we work and behave according to these feelings, it leads to fulfillment of both sides in the relationship. So we call it mutual fulfillment. So justice is the, you can say that it helps to rightly evaluate any relationship. So there are 4 elements of ensuring values in the relationship. So what are these? These are recognition of the values, values like trust, mutual understanding, generating vishwas, generating respect, giving this or being happy in others' achievement. So all these are recognition of the values. So what do you achieve is a sense of fulfillment, and you are rightly evaluating that relationship, which is generating mutual happiness. So these are the 4 elements. That is recognition of values, fulfillment, evaluation, and mutual happiness. When all these 4 are ensured in any sort of relationships, as I told you, within the family or outside the family, within your circle of friends, you are ensuring justice. So, how can we maintain harmony in the family? The harmonious relationship in the family are based on these feelings only that we talked about. That is trust, respect, affection, care, guidance, reverence, glory, gratitude, and love. So all these are very much intermingled terms in the sense that all this will generate positive vibe in the relationships, making the bonding much more stronger. So recognition, fulfillment, and evaluation of the feelings, it will lead to harmony in the family. How do we explain this term, respect or someone? We already talked about. Respect or someone means accepting individually. So self-respect is must, then only you can forward the respect to others and do the right kind of evaluation. So what does it mean? To be evaluated as I am. If you don't evaluate, then you cannot evaluate the person with whom you are in relationship. So respect or someone is generated only when you have self-respect within you. So that's all we talked about, all these terms. Hope you have understood something which will also help to strengthen your bondings, not only within your family, but also with others with whom you are associated in the society. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, madam. I think students who are attending this program, already you have heard some of the terms last lecture, but madam has clearly, explicitly what's the need of this term, how it is related to relationship, human relationship between oneself to another self, how relationship, how bonding it may be created or depends upon our harmony. The components of harmony, these components are explained very nicely. Mainly the terms very important for this. There is trust. We have last Wednesday also explained, on Sunday also it was discussed for long on this trust, the term, the trust. Another terminology, intention, affection. Another term, the new term, madam has explained, that is care, So those terms, those entities are closely related to the relationship, and gratitude and glory. So these are very helpful for creating bonding inside the family and outside the family, in society also. So the main objective, main focus of our UHB class is to maintain the harmony. This harmony depends on the relationship which are in this portion, in this module. It has been explained very nicely. And madam has told same thing also. I think all the students, and also another thing, some questions are generated in our mind, okay? Or we express some question, we want to have some query inside, and those question answer has been given by our madam, So this question will help you to clear your concepts, at the same time the terminology, how it is related to our mind and our society in family. This terminology, this glory or the reference, this terminology has been explained with the question answer form. I think it is more, one thing I'm telling you, all the models that already you have passed and some models are ahead, you'll have to complete those, you'll have to attend those classes also. But main synopsis of this usual class is to strengthen our human ethics. So ethics related to values. So how can the values can be developed in our in every human being? This is the main target. So all these have some target, have some way. These ways are being explained in every module. So in this module, the mainly family relationship and the society relationship with the society, it has been mentioned. So Sujusika madam explained this. Also, madam today has explained very clearly and explicitly. I think all of you have listened very carefully, and I'll request madam to give this PPT or PDF to our WhatsApp group or the Telegram group. Then all will be able to get it. And on Sunday, I think all students, we always request all the students to join in the feedback session on Sunday at 4 to 5 p.m. Okay. So 4 to 5, very, very, very valuable. I am telling every time, every class, we want to know your suggestion, your concept, which have been built up from this lecture. So today's lecture, you will get some points, I think, and the madam will send you the PDF. And after that, you must have some response or feedback on this lecture. So on Sunday, we'll be present here. Madam, I'll request madam to present on Sunday at 4 p.m. So the main target is that you will give some feedback. And also if you have some query, you will ask. And also we want to get some addition or alteration that will enrich our concept both sides, So anyway, today I think it should be somewhat new horizon that you have got today. So these things, the relationship and the bonding or the some terminology is being told several times in various ways. How can it be developed? So this is the new way. Madam has explained in another form and very realistic way which are being used every day in your life. Okay. So as because we are a human being in every society, we belong to a certain society or a mainly unit society, it is family. So have some reciprocate behavioralism in our family. So how the relationship developed in our family and on which our values and ethics depends or stands. That is why that has been just mentioned here. So I thank you all. I also thanks madam. Actually, she has been agreed to deliver this lecture very short time, So anyway, it has been done very nicely. So I request also our students to be with us on Sunday at 4 p.m. Thank you to all. Saksar sir, you can end it up. Okay, I think one thing, I must have some attendance sheet. Saksar sir, will you give us the attendance link? Hello, attendance link. It is wanted. Hello. Otherwise, we'll take this attendance on Sunday also, but it was given. Each with us or Saksar. Hello. Saksar sir is not with us. Anyway,
স্বাক্ষর স্যার বোধহয় আউট বাইরে আছেন একটু।
বাইরে আছেন না? আচ্ছা,
হ্যাঁ।
ও লিঙ্কটা, অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স লিঙ্কটা দেয়। তো যাই হোক, তাহলে ওটা নেক্সট ডেতে আমরা নিয়ে নেবো।
হ্যাঁ, ঠিক
Next
আছে।
next Sunday we'll take the attendance, there'll be no problem. Okay, thank you. Do you have any question, very short question you want to ask? Madam will answer that, or explain it. If you have any short question regarding this lecture, you can ask now. Anyone, any point. But if you have any doubt or some query, you can ask. Otherwise, you will end it up. Okay. Thank you. No questions are
Okay,
being
sir.
raised. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Let's end now. Okay.
Ending
Thank
the
you.
meeting then.
Okay. And please send it to our group, your PDF. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Oh, acha, just a minute. Someone is. Oh, no. Hello. Okay. End it up.
Okay, sir.